Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey, guys, it's Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Hello and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield, and we are struggling against conditions today because here in the What's Bruin studio, I just was trying out a portable air conditioner that used to be at my daughter Megan's house in Berkeley, and it may have fried all the electricity in my garage, which is also the What's Bruin studio. And so Mike and I are here. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
We are now sweating in, in the valley. It was like 114 at one point. Mike saw on his thing, and it was a very hot day.
105 when I got
San
here.
Fernando Valley. And it's not much cooler in the studio right now. And I have Jamaal on the line. Jamaal, how are you doing?
Hey guys, working 9 to 5, and I will always love you.
Yeah, and he's out there, and and Dolly died.
Speaking of 9 to 5,
and Jamal's out there in Arizona, near the Tucson area, and he's in air conditioning though, so he's looking fine. He asked me if I had makeup on because I'm glistening apparently. So the main thing is, I'm pretty sure Mike and I can brave the heat to bring you this What's Bruin show. However, for the last...
Hey, we've gone through 3 years of crappy UCLA football. We can do this, Jake.
I think so, but for the last 45 minutes, though, Mike, you can testify to this. There have been power surges that have flickered the power on and off, resetting my computer and the board and everything. So we've been safe for like 15 minutes. However, I'm hoping that we are safe for the rest of this podcast and we don't drop out, because if it happens,
we should pause every 5 minutes and
more than a
save
couple
it.
of times, Mike, I'm going to just give up and we will just wait until Cal to podcast probably. So we'll see. Probably not, but yeah. Anyway, it's What's Bruin Show, the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you for your support. Jamal's in podcasting. Jamal, did I publish your last show or did I forget about you? I think I did.
No, I didn't do one because I was coming on this show.
No. Yeah, I'm not behind one though, right?
No, you are not. You did publish the last episode.
Okay, good.
And that was me covering the further sagas of the Lakers drama for the West Coast Bias podcast.
Jamaal does West Coast Bias for us and for himself, and we appreciate that. And we are all about the West Coast Bias.
Well, you're just all about the West Coast bias. You don't like the East Coast.
And I published a bunch of bare minimums the last
bare minimum
few weeks, and then me and Megan recorded like a 45-minute long listing of her accomplishments. And I no one's more proud of her than me. But if you listen to it, hopefully you'll like it. But it's a lot of talking about what her career was at Berkeley. This last episode that I'm going to release soon, so hopefully you enjoy that. Mike's here. We talked to Wayne Cook last week. That was fun. And
that was awesome. I love it.
It was really good, I thought. And it's always good to talk to Wayne. And we got this episode where we're going to talk about our predictions for the Big Ten, which I'm sure we're all excited about. And then next week we'll be talking about UCLA traveling up to Berkeley, and that'll be fun. I had a couple drops that I pulled. Bill William Henry Shirley III, the former host of the show, sent me an idea for some drops that I pulled, but now with the power surge, they'll have to wait. And then I also got a drop of Mike's colleague, Jack Savage, saying he's a baller, which will be in the mix for sure. And then I got my favorite quote that I pulled was our coach, Chesney, saying team, or the team. That's going to be heavy rotation going forward. But right now, I don't have those available to play because of the conditions. Once again, we'll point to conditions as being our downfall tonight. But that's okay. We're gonna slog on. So with that in mind, I'm sure Mike's got some headlines about women's basketball or some nonsense he wants to talk about. So let's do that real quick. Mike, what do you want to talk about with headlines? But we don't have a sounder for headlines anymore because we need like a 24/7 roar headlines. Something like that.
I'm on it.
But Mike, what do you want to talk about?
Just
Before
really
we talk
quick-
about the stuff we want to talk about.
Just really quickly, yes. Just a small bit of women's basketball. The fact that UCLA is doing an exhibition with Texas, and that'll be, you know, obviously before the season, but that's 3 times UCLA is going to play Texas. Obviously, the last time they played was revenge for the lone loss of the 25-26 season, as they avenged that loss to get into the national championship. But
Kind of a rubber match.
Yeah, pretty much. But this is an exhibition. And then the great Chris Johnson did an exclusive interview with Coach Close.
Yes.
Also, friend of the Big Disco radio show that I do, LA in a Minute, he interviewed Coach Close today. So she's everywhere. And yeah, she was also on Jeopardy last week, I believe. So popular gal.
Did she
popular
lose
gal.
on Jeopardy?
She was one of the categories.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Lost on Jeopardy is a song reference of a Weird Al song and a song before I don't remember who did that song. But two cool Jeopardy songs.
Weird basketball news. 2 former Bruins, the backcourt of the Bruins, Sky Clark.
Yeah.
We knew that he was transferring to LSU. Well, now Donovan Dent, who a lot of people thought were who was transferring to Gonzaga, is also going to LSU.
Wow.
So yeah, wouldn't that be weird? Wouldn't that be just something if LSU meets,
Jamaal, are you there? Jamaal? Yeah.
Save it.
Okay, so Mike.
Jake.
The power just went out.
Sucks.
It's been about 40 minutes since we brought Jamaal onto the show. And now we've given up. There's no Jamaal today. We may have Jamaal next week to give us his predictions about the Big Ten and Cal and all that stuff. But as of right now, we are now sitting on the back patio of the What's Bruin Show house studio.
It's a beautiful view aside from the freaking heat.
Thank you. It is. It's cooler than it was in the studio. You know. Currently, maybe LA DWP Emergency Services might come out to my house to check out my power. We'll see if that happens. If you hear a bunch of dogs go ballistic, that'll be what's going on. Right now, the dogs are quiet, and we're talking into the old original What's Bruin Show DAT recorder, the DAT recorder that I accidentally deleted my first interview with Maurice Jones-Drew on. And we have you're listening to What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network or whatever, the sound that comes off, that was actually recorded by Reign of Troy, because I talked to Maurice Jones-Drew for like 15, 20 minutes and then forgot to hit the double record button on this thing. But I didn't now. It's recording now. So we're good. Mike, you were in the middle of talking about women's basketball playing Texas, I think. Was there anything?
Oh, yeah. No, I went over that. That's pretty much it for women's basketball. But, just quickly moved on to Donovan Dent and
that's right.
and Sky Clark.
Reuniting at LSU.
At LSU.
Interesting.
And can you just imagine UCLA and LSU meeting in the first weekend of the NCAA tournament? Like, how coincidental would that be? Or maybe not coincidental. The NCAA committee would probably be like, hey, you know what would be good?
Yeah, right.
So that'd be interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the headlines. Come on, Jake, we got football.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I'm sorry Winston is now trying to get out. At least he has a bath. My smaller dog, who's as big as a Labrador, with a nice Merle coat. He's pestering Mike right now, but now he just wandered off, so that's good. Yeah, we're going to talk about football. I don't have any drops anymore. Now it's just all natural, like some
organic,
stupid lame-o, all the other lame podcasts in the that we love, all our friends in the What's Bruin Show universe and the Bruin universe. But one of the big things that happened, Mike, since we last talked was UCLA got a guy that used to be in the Cleveland Browns training camp and used to play for Bob Chesney last year at JMU, and now he is our newest Bruin, and I am super duper excited about that. How do you feel about Trent Hendrick joining the team, first of all, Mike?
First off, all of these... Can we just figure this stuff out like 5 months before the season starts, so that everything can set? Like, we are 2 weeks before less than 2 weeks before the season starts, and we're having court cases that are allowing or not allowing. We have conferences that are banning these players or that. It's a bit much right now.
It's super crazy.
But down to the nitty gritty, the thing about the ban with the Big Ten is that if players had signed with NFL teams, they would be ineligible. If they declared for the draft, they would be ineligible. Luckily, Hendrick is in the clear. He didn't do any of those, and his status with UCLA, which just came down on Sunday after a court ruling.
Go Bruins. He's just a baller, man.
Yeah, he's just a baller, man. He's now allowed to. He was allowed to enter the transfer portal, even though the transfer portal is closed, and basically pick a destination. From what I heard, UCLA, Cal, and Texas were some of the big three. Were the top three teams that he was eyeballing. Word on the street is that Cal came up with a hefty offer for him. I guess almost double of what UCLA offered, but he decided to stay home in a way, if you will, and stick with Chesney, who was his head coach last season. Stick with Wayne Knight, Sayer West, Aiden Gobera. Basically bring in another Duke, not Blue Devil, but JMU Duke, to Westwood. And the thing about this guy is that he's going to pack a punch. He was a Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year last year. He had 106 total tackles. I'm in the middle of this article right now in which I'm looking at the returning production of players coming back to UCLA from last year, as well as the added production. Holy crap. With Hendrick in the mix, UCLA has something like 200% returning production,
Which is
or total production.
Yeah, which last year's team was not a good team, but that's still pretty slick.
Because UCLA sucked last year.
Yeah.
They were just not good. So to get to that mark is actually not that bad. But considering all the defenders that they brought in through the transfer portal,
just pointing to that they should be improved. Right?
Much improved. Yeah. And to have a guy like this who already knows the system, he's only 2 weeks out, but he already knows the system. He knows Hitchler. He knows Chesney. He knows some of the other defenders on the team. You know, he's now the 11th JMU transfer at UCLA. This is a really good sign, and it might bump. If they're going to bump anybody, I think it might be Jalen Woods if they do go to a 2 linebacker set, because I don't think you're going to move Sammy Omosigo out of that spot. But Chesney said on Monday that they talked to the linebackers, they talked about the situation, and they handled it, and that's it. You're having a guy who has a lot of experience and is going to be, just a baller.
One of the things that Chesney, by the way, Mike, one of the things I want to talk about was that how he was on Bill Simmons' show this last week, and how Bill Simmons' network, The Ringer, really has adopted UCLA football as their team, which is pretty fun for me. I'm obviously F Boston in every respect, but I'm a Bill Simmons fan. I really am, even though he's the antithesis of me as a sports fan. But I really do enjoy him, and a lot of his crew went to where, Mike? Holy Cross. When they had Chesney as their head coach, taking it to great heights a couple cycles before. Chesney then went to JMU and then UCLA. Maybe some interim stop in there. But anyways, they've adopted UCLA as their school, and Simmons talked about how he's going to go to a couple games this year, and Chesney did a half hour on his show, and it was a lot of fun. But getting back to your point about Hendrick is this. Whether Hendrick is a starter or whether there's a rotation or whatever it is, one of the things that Chesney had to say about his team is always having the competition, and that's a hallmark of a lot of successful coaches. Yeah. Going back to, I spit his name, Pete Carroll, or a lot of the, Saban, or all these other guys, that is something that is fostered in the program, and that is competition all the time. And Chesney's really big on that. And so having a guy that was good enough to be in an NFL training camp, who was good enough to be one of the best players on a playoff team last year, and was one of the best players for his team last year, can be nothing but a bonus, I think, for the Bruins, especially when you talk about him knowing the system already and all that stuff. Yeah. So just on every level, this is really cool. In addition to, Mike, it's kind of cool that UCLA had the wherewithal and is listening. By the way, I recommend you go back and listen to Chesney talk to Simmons for the half hour, because he talked just about the organization of football too, where it is. And I only said some of the same stuff in other places, but I thought it was kind of fun. But the fact that UCLA was able to get Hendrick, obviously they started probably on third base on this one, but they had to bring it home by, for lack of a better term, showing him the money a little bit, right? They had to figure that part out. And the fact that UCLA and Chesney and the administrative staff were all able to do this very quickly and beat out some teams that definitely wanted him, right?
Yeah.
How does
Like
that speak
Cal.
anything but, there was wasn't Texas in the mix for him too? Like there was some,
I believe so, yeah.
there was some big money in the mix for this guy, and UCLA got him. And so that speaks well to them, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome.
And this just adds to, this was floated around last few weeks, especially when we had the UCLA media days last week. The fact that Colin Hitchler has basically given his defense an identity, the Bruin Bullies.
Oh, I like that.
And one, just because it's an identity, they just want to be
antithesis
aggressive.
of the gutty little Bruins, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And also, secondly, because I love this, because he's a Philly guy. And this is in connection to the Broad Street Bullies.
Mike wishes he were from Philly.
I do. And
like I wish, or like I actually am from New Orleans. Mike wishes he was from Philly.
Second home.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Broad Street Bullies were?
It was the 70s, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
The Philadelphia Flyers in the 70s. Broad Street is that street that goes from the arena all the way up to City Hall. So it was just this fun moniker that they had. They were just a team that just smashed other teams. So that's what I'm hoping to see this year, as UCLA just adds another element, another layer, especially one that is already familiar. This isn't like they're bringing in like a late transfer or a late high school senior. This is a guy who was given a special circumstance.
It can't be anything but good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It can't be
exactly.
anything but good. So
Exactly.
despite what our deluded friend Des says, hi Des, we love you, but the Bruins are not going to win every game this year.
No.
Okay?
Oh God, no.
But the Bruins hopefully are markedly improved this year, and that is going to be based on the amazingly huge upgrade with the coaching staff, hopefully the alignment of the coaching staff with the administration, and hopefully an influx of talent from relative to last year, even if it's still not up to where it needs to be to take on the higher echelons of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping to see this year is a team that plays like bullies. That would be great, right? And a team that is competitive in all of their games, and a team that is not shooting itself in the foot, right? And if that's what they do this year, I will be thrilled, and you'll see the progress, and then we can just go from there. But I'm a believer in Chesney. I'm a believer in what the UCLA administration is going for right now.
Yeah.
I'm curious to another one of our great friends, Darth Diego. I'm curious where he's at now heading into this football season. What are the Bruin fans who were the most pessimistic, and by the way, rightfully so, in the Deshaun Foster era? What are they looking like now, as hopefully the arrow's pointed up, that for the athletic department in general and for the football team specifically. But Mike, we got talked about Hendrick, talked about Chesney on Bill Simmons. I'm kind of it's getting dark now, and I have my computer, and like now the power turned off again, it looks like, and so we'll see how that goes. I feel sorry for my family inside, but we want to talk Big Ten predictions, so I guess let's do that. Mike, do you print out the helmet schedule?
Yes.
We'll deal with that. But I guess let's start with the Big Ten's ginormous. It's got 18 teams.
Freaking hell.
Let's talk about the top 4 in the Big Ten. We'll do it. Let's see. What's the best? 8. Let's talk about the top half of the Big Ten and the bottom half of the Big Ten. We'll start with the bottom half, Mike.
All right.
Who do you have And then you look at the big helmet schedule, and actually looking at your helmet schedule and what you did, Mike, did you have a particular way you attacked, like picking all of these games or putting guys into slots? Is there anybody that you automatically were like, they suck and they're going to lose all the games, or something that you're like, they're going to be great, they're going to win all their games, or did you go by it more? What was your methodology on this?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, I just kind of look at what some of what the teams are bringing in, what they let go. Obviously, looking at what other people have UCLA as, especially with teams that I'm not very familiar with, like Maryland or
Go Terps.
Iowa per se. Minnesota, like Minnesota and Wisconsin. Those are two that are like they're definitely middle of the road teams, but they seem like they could be better than they were last year. But at the same time, going head to head, that's basically what I did. I just went through every team's schedule, looked at who they're going up against, and some of these freaking teams have freaking cupcake schedules. Dear God, and a lot of them don't play some of what would be the top 3, 4, 4 or 5 teams.
Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of teams
Michigan,
are going to be their record is going. Yeah, their record is going to be better than what they probably are, just because they're playing a lot of the teams in the second half of in the bottom half of my projected standings. So I just looked at basically head to head. Especially when it comes to where they are playing. So yeah, I just kind of went one by one with 18 teams, 12 games each, and yeah, just came up with.
So I don't have any drops or whatever, but I'll ask a couple qualifying questions here before we get to your bottom half of the Big Ten or your top half of the Big Ten. Do you have, Mike, UCLA finishing in the bottom half or the top half of the Big Ten?
This is weird because I have them finishing.
Don't want the record, just
in
bottom
the
half
top half.
Okay. Look at that, Mike.
Yeah, but
we're eternally optimistic. And guess what, Mike? I do too, believe it or not. Shockingly, the What's Bruin Show is picking UCLA to finish in the top half of the conference. They finished
tied for 12th.
12th? Yeah, okay. 12th last year.
3-9.
So we're both expecting them to be at least in, top 9 of the Big Ten, 9 or better. Okay, so the other question I have for you, Mike. Did you have UCLA finishing ahead or behind the hated Trojans? The season hasn't started yet, so we can say whatever we want.
Technically,
F you, Raina Troy.
Technically, I have them tied with USC, but
5-4.
Since I have UCLA,
I shouldn't have said the record.
Beating USC, they get the tiebreaker.
Mike?
Yeah,
I have it the same way.
Right.
Only. I think, sadly, I might have them losing to SC. I don't know. God help me if I actually pick that.
I don't know. Just
as of right now,
with that game, like UCLA is going to be much better, much better, much better. I don't trust USC with Lincoln Riley. They're always ranked 10 to 15th in every preseason AP poll, and they just disappoint. They haven't been to a college football playoff. I mean, they lost to an unranked team in their bowl game last year. So I just and I like Patterson when he was a head coach. He might be a good defensive coordinator, and from what a USC reporter told me, that's who Lincoln Riley really wanted. Even though it was late in the season because Danton Lynn took off to Penn State, which that's his alma mater, so you can't argue with that. It just puzzles me that Patterson is the guy that you want to run your defense, especially since Danton Lynn did a really good job. But I just have questions with the offense. Yes, they're going to – this weekend they play against San Jose State, and they're going to run over them, as they likely should. They're USC. But when it comes down to the bigger games, I just don't see USC making an impact. There was this one USC site on Twitter that has them going 10-2.
Yeah.
They have them beating Oregon. I'm like, okay, well, sure. I mean, I'll believe when I see it, good luck to you, but they are not going to go 10-2.
Well, they're going to have the opportunity. And they're ranked in the top 25 right now. We'll see.
Yeah.
But look, I agree with you too. I think they're going to lose to Oregon as well. I think they're not going to be as good, but yeah. I mean, we'll see how they do.
Yeah.
Okay. With that being said, let's unveil your bottom half of the Big Ten, Mike. Give me the worst 4 teams. Do you have it arranged so you can look at it like that?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Worst 4 teams?
Oh, yeah.
Give me the worst 4 teams of the Big Ten.
Coming in at 15, Rutgers with a 4-8, 1-8 record.
Okay.
16, Michigan State. Yeah, sorry, Fitzpatrick, but yeah, you have a bit of a mess to clean up. At 3-9 and 1-8. At 17, I have Maryland 3-9, 1-8. I've been thinking that. I thought Maryland would be pretty decent, but from what I'm reading from reporters across the Big Ten, not a lot of people have confidence in them, and so neither will I. And then bringing it all in at 18th is Purdue, 1-11, 0-9.
We both agree on Purdue, 1-11, 0-9. They are my last place team in the Big Ten. I have friends whose daughter is there right now. Go Boilermakers!
Sorry.
UCLA actually gets to play Purdue.
Good basketball team.
They're going to be here at the Rose Bowl in week 3, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to hopefully watching UCLA kick the crap out of them. But yeah, I have them going 0-9 and 1-11. And then the only thing we disagree with, Mike, is I have Purdue worst, Rutgers, Michigan State, Northwestern in that order, from 18, 17, 16, 15. Maryland just outside of that. So I have Rutgers as one of my worst teams in the Big Ten.
Okay.
All tied, 3-way tie of Northwestern, Michigan State, and Rutgers. I'm not a believer in Fitz. I'm not a believer in the Northwestern team either at 1-8. Sorry, Godfather. Sorry about that. So we'll have to see how that does. And I have Northwestern, sorry, Godfather, finishing 4-8 on the season. I'm sure I'm going to have a great sports luncheon with Dave and Jim at some point, and we can talk about that. Mike, so then who are your next so we did 4 already, the bottom 4. Now give me the next 5, which will take us to halfway up the Big Ten standings.
So this is basically
complete the bottom half. Is
completing the bottom half.
Yeah.
Number 10.
Go
USC.
Let's go.
Oh, you want to? Okay, go
from
the other way.
Go upwards.
So 14, I have Northwestern. 13, I have Minnesota. 12, I have Iowa. 11, Nebraska. Everyone's picking Nebraska. I don't see it. They lost a really good quarterback, and yes, they have a pretty decent one in my opinion. But I don't see them being one of the top 5, 6, or 7
fading
teams.
Nebraska as well.
Yeah, I just don't see it. So Nebraska at 11, and finishing up the bottom half, USC at 8-4, 5-4.
Wow. So SC's your number 10 team.
Yep.
In the Big Ten. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. And so, Mike, I do have one question about that. What do you think about Iowa? Why are you fading them so hard? What do you have Iowa picked at? Do you have an idea of why?
It's weird. I mean, they still have an overall winning record at 7-5 and 4-5, but they just seem to be losing a little bit of steam. I don't know. I just don't see, especially with their schedule. Yeah, they have some tough teams that they go against, and I just don't think that they are that they're a team that can, survive that and compete for the conference.
No, I hear that. It's funny. I have them having a kind of a weird season where they come out of the box. They have 3 games that they're going to win probably regardless. I guess.
Yeah, right.
Iowa State's they're heavy favorites in that game. That's a rivalry game for them. But they're going to go 3-0, and then I have them losing 3 in a row: Michigan, Ohio State, Washington. But then I have them running the table at the end with their schedule of a lot of like 50-50 games with Northwestern and Purdue in there too. So I just kind of have them as the best of that middle class that they're playing, because they don't play SC, they don't play UCLA. I don't believe they play Oregon. And I kind of just always pencil Iowa in as a kind of 8 or 9 win team, regardless with fairness there and all that. But we'll see. So that's where we disagree there. My bottom half teams are going to be, Maryland, then Nebraska, Minnesota. They're all, Maryland's 4-8, Nebraska's 6-6, Minnesota 6-6. Then I have Wisconsin at 7-5, and I have Washington. Well, actually, so that's my bottom 8, and then I have a giant middle class in the Big Ten where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams finishing 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams do you have in a 4-way tie? Although, and that's really a conference tie too.
Overall, I had 2 teams finishing 8-1. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams finishing 6-3, 2 teams finishing 5-4. Yeah, so it's like there's going to be calamity. I mean, as there always is, but yeah, there are going to be a lot of games, a lot of. The committee's going to have to look at the standings for a lot of tiebreakers because I have a lot of teams that are finishing with a similar record. But yeah, I have a lot of teams at 6-3.
Interesting, yeah, and I have a lot of teams that are 5-4 in the Big Ten, and that's I'll just go with that. I have right now, and this is where UCLA is finishing along with SC. UCLA, Illinois, USC, Washington, and Wisconsin all finishing with a 5-4 record in the Big Ten, and all those teams except Wisconsin finishing 8-4. And just specifically for the UCLA and USC, it's just one of those things where I'm not as optimistic about SC as a lot of people are. Gee, was shocking, right?
Yeah.
And for UCLA, I'm just hoping that the coaching influx and just what we talked about before and how we believe is going to result in them winning a couple games that maybe they wouldn't before just because of the advantages that are created there. But I won't be surprised if UCLA is, I think we said it before, Mike. I'll be ecstatic if they're 8 wins or plus. That'll just be all right. This is great. 7, I think I'll be satisfied with. 6 will be like the minimum where I'll be like, they probably left something on the table. And anything below 6, I will be disappointed. Do you feel the same way about UCLA this year, Mike?
Oh, God, yeah. If they don't win 6 games, fire Chesney.
So yeah,
no, it's his first year, and if he gets this, 5-7 will be disappointing. But he has to get to 6-6. One, because it just seems just with the talent and the favorable schedule, you got to win at least 6 games and get back to a bowl.
Yeah, and like I said, I will be mildly disappointed if they get to 6. That's like the bare minimum. I wish I had the drop going right now. Okay, Mike. So we talked kind of the middle class. We talked the lower level of the Big Ten. Just go to do you have a Big 3 for the Big Ten?
Oh yeah,
or do you have a Big 4, Big 5? Who are the top tier? What's the top tier in the Big Ten for you?
Well. Yeah, and it's weird because I have a few teams that don't deserve to be up there, but like I said before, because of their schedule, they're up there.
Well, here, just tell me who.
Should I start from 1 or should I go from?
I'm going to ask a
Go ahead.
very direct question. So, how many teams do you have with 1 loss or less?
3.
Okay, that's what I want to know. The big 3 for you this year are
Ohio State will win the conference 12-0, 9-0.
Okay.
Oregon and Indiana will tie. Don't know how they're going to figure out that tiebreaker because they don't play each other.
Yeah.
But both will finish 11-1, 8-1 in conference.
And so you have Ohio State beating Indiana when they play them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Ohio State goes on the road and wins at Indiana.
Oh yeah.
And that's the game that I have, Mike. We have the same big 3. Obviously, I think everybody does in the country. And that's where I have the difference. I have Indiana winning that game, Indiana going undefeated again, Indiana going 9-0 Big Ten, and then I have Ohio State and Oregon tied at 8-1 right behind that. And,
who do you have winning between?
So then I have Indiana beating Ohio State. I have Ohio State beating Oregon.
So
it's 1, 2, 3 like that.
So Oregon number 3, yeah.
Yeah. So and basically it's those big teams winning their home games in those big matchups is what I kind of said. So then. I think the only 2 teams we didn't really talk about that much are the 2 teams that kind of, I think just by benefit of the schedule, kind of push their way up the standings. And that's, for me, it's Michigan, who I have not nearly as successful, but actually going just barely better than that other group. They're going 6-3 in conference. But then I have Penn State kind of along with my big 3 as a team that only loses 1 game this year. And they go 8-1 just pretty much based on the fact that they don't play a lot of people. Their big win this year is, in my book, they play USC and they beat them, and then they lose to Michigan. But really, everybody else on their schedule is, the middle tier of the Big Ten or worse. And so that's why I think that they're able to be very, very successful the first year of that coaching staff, and they're blowing rainbows out of their butts, going 11-1 and 8-1 along with those other 2 Big Ten teams. But I seriously look at Penn State not being the same caliber as Ohio State or Oregon. That's why I didn't include them as a Big 4, just as a Big 3 with a kind of an asterisk with Penn State. I don't think they're as good as the other 2 teams.
Yeah. I have a similar situation where Penn State is tied in a 4-way tie for 4th. going 9-3 and 6-3, and that's only because they just have a soft schedule. I have Michigan tied for 7th at 8-4 and 6-3. In Washington, I'm a little bit more favorable on them, going 9-3 and 6-3. They're one of those 4 teams tied for 4th. So, tied for 4th. I have Illinois, Penn State, Michigan, and Washington. So I think those are all contenders, but they're just you're just not going to get past those top 3.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it. I don't want to spend too much more time here. I realize now it's almost fully dark. The inside of my house is completely dark. I have no idea what my family's doing in there. So let's do a quick What's Brewing with You? What's Brewing with You? What's Brewing with You? And then we'll shut this down and hopefully regroup for next week when I have some power. How about that, Mike?
Yeah,
What's Brewing with You?
Nothing much. Just gearing up for the season. We're 2 weeks in. Just still reviewing film, looking at players at practice. I haven't gone this week, but I believe they have practice Saturday, which I'll be at. I'm just really freaking excited. I think like a lot of UCLA fans to see what the hell Bob Chesney can do with this UCLA team.
Me too.
He's obviously brought in a lot of talent, and it has to be a step up from 3-9. There's just no excuse to not turn this around. And I'm not like a lot of people are they're referencing the Signetti effect, but I don't even want to do that. I want to see what Chesney can do. I want to see what the Chesney effect is.
Yeah.
But what did I do this weekend? What did I do this weekend? Saturday, my buddy, there's this new bar. Oh, it's been around for a year in East LA called La Bufadora, and it's kind of turning out to be like a punk rock bar. And my buddy Steve was DJing there, so I went and they were doing like a Britpop night, I talked to one of the guys, and it seems like I'm probably going to be DJing there one night. So
nice.
It's so funny because it's like literally.
You didn't go on the La Bufadora trip with? No, I don't think it was me and Tuck and Bobby and Adrian. And a little kid called me Gordo and shot me with a cap gun.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And then Bobby and Adrian almost got arrested in Tijuana.
Yeah.
And then Bobby had a broken limb, and then he was folded up in the back of my minivan on the way back, or somebody's minivan. Like he literally was in the very back compartment, driving back from TJ.
I was there for a similar, not the same one, but there was a similar situation when I went with them to TJ. So
there you go.
All of a sudden we're eating tacos, and it's like, we got to go. I'm like, oh. Okay. So I'm drunk. Someone else is driving. That's cool. Let's go.
Well, that's cool. You're a DJ at La Bufadora.
So I'll be doing that, and just instructing, practicing with my kiddos. Who my daughter had basketball tryouts yesterday. It hasn't been announced what the teams are, but she was a little down on herself. I'm like, look, you tried your best. This is the first time you're doing it. You've never done this before.
Yeah.
You should be proud of your efforts. And my son, who's very excited because he gets to try out for his school's flag football team, but they canceled it this week because of the goddamn heat. So they're doing that next week. So, so this week we're going to be going out, once it gets cooler, going out and practicing a bit more. And then watching college football this weekend. Woo! We're back, baby.
Week 0.
Jake, what's brewing with you?
I'm in my home on the patio, recording a podcast into an old DAT machine because I have no power. And when I go into the house, it's going to be pitch black, and I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the night. So that's what's going on. And I'm the proud owner of a Tesla battery that apparently never charged. So gee whiz, we have that going for us. That's supposed to handle this situation for us, and yet it has failed too. So this has been great.
Yay!
And I can't wait for the football season, but gee whiz, I just hope we can get power back in my house.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Mike, thank you for gutting through this. You've been here for a couple hours. You did get some chicken fried rice or some fried rice and with some chicken. I don't know if you had any chicken with it.
I just had the fried rice. I had a late lunch, so
there you go.
Dude, I am a sucker for fried rice.
Yeah, and I appreciate you gutting through this, but we will hopefully be back next week, or maybe we won't. Maybe it'll just be the Mike show. But I will be up at Berkeley for UCLA at Cal.
Nice.
And then we'll go from there. So, Mike, until next time, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh, my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out.
Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rock, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.